Hello everyone, Revan619 here. Going to be doing things a little bit differently. Normally I like to do daily videos where I sort of go through and explain things as I learn them. But now that we've got a little bit of, well, people know what I'm doing, I don't want to be giving out rambling videos that aren't relevant to people that are already following the channel. So what the purpose of this video today is, I'm going to be talking about the current unfair run that I'm doing for the next build. Which is, it's going to be a Crimelord Operative that I'm going to be a sniper bounty hunter. So this, I'm going to cover the sort of early game and the early playstyle of it. So going in for the tutorial, I am playing on unfair, and I've got some clips lined up for several different battles here. And I wanted to sort of show you what sort of things you're doing here. So because of Surefire Plan and your exploits, you already start off doing a lot of high damage. As you can see, 35 damage hits even in this tutorial. And because Operative, as your base class, you actually get 2 sniper rifles in the opening. This actually makes the early game much easier than any other run, because that means you get a second sniper rifle for Aurora without getting the long lads. When you get the long lads, you can give that straight to Pascal, and then you obviously have the well-maintained sniper rifle for your character, so you actually have 3 operatives working together in tandem. Operative is a very different class where the more operatives, like Bounty Hunter, the more Bounty Hunters, the more it actually does, because they're not competing with each other for resources, they share their resources. So Aurora, when she goes, can give out some exploits, and the same with your Crimelord Operative. So as you use them, they take their turn, they give out exploits, and then you use Surefire Plan to do a lot more damage than you would do normally. And if you go for physical weapons, you also get over penetration. I've seen some over penetration do up to 100 damage just in chapter 1. And we'll go through some of those fights and we'll sort of see where it's coming from. I won't show the DLC because it's still a little bit early and people might not have got there. But some of those fights I actually did get some of my highest damage outputs because it's towards the end of it. But the playstyle for this one as well, you're going to want a tankier character up front. Now, I know I don't like to play tanks. I feel like the combat loop to Rogue Trader isn't designed for MMO-style tanking. What it is designed for is to get good melee up front that can either dodge or take a few hits whilst also being damage-focused themselves. So I essentially have a pure DPS party. Even though a lot of my characters can buff and debuff, which is what you'll see here. So, Aurora, I'm using her staff along with exploits that are again set by 2 characters, and then I'm actually picking off key individuals with my Crimelord Operative and Surefire Plan. Your reloads are not the best, they do take a lot, but as you can see, the single target damage is really good, and because I've gone Forge World, I can sometimes take 2 shots in a turn, as you just saw there. So this increases our attack economy, which fixes the biggest weakness of Operative, which is attack economy. Attack economy is what stops it being a top tier class and puts it just weaker than everything else. It's not unusable, that's for damn sure, but it stops it from being borderline unusable. So having those extra attack options, and as you get some more talent, so your reloads also help with it, and your reloads cost less, because it costs a lot of AP to reload a sniper rifle. It really does help build up how much the build itself can do, and like I said, having more operatives is better, because it means more exploits, more tactical knowledge, just more damage to go around. So we'll start to move into like one of the first challenging battles here. So this one, if you come here straight away and you haven't done the prison world or picked up Cassia, you can very easily end your unfair run right here. But one of the good things is a lot of the enemies are melee and spread out or using short-range weapons. So you can actually hang back and have enemies come to yourself. So what I've done is I've set up my operatives on the back line, and then I've got sort of my melee characters going out front, but I kind of want to keep them in cover between the rounds so they don't get left out. So the good thing about having a blade dance with Cabela here is she can hit and she can get jumps back. Now leaving her there is a very big risk, but you can also jump to get into cover. So I'm actually going to do that as well, to at least get her into half cover so she's just not out in the open and getting destroyed, because I'm playing on unfair, like it's a huge risk. Aurora, I like to build as an early sniper because I don't want to summon a demon before I can actually take out demons. So having her to help pick off stuff with my Rogue Trader It's very useful. So Cassia here, she can buff primary stats. I think I actually made a mistake popping her in this corner, because I think even though you should be able to see, because it has that little slit, because it's technically full cover, you can't see any of these enemies. So I think this first buff round, yeah, I do nothing. One thing I go into first is tactical knowledge. Because you build up so many stacks of exploit, you'll easily be able to give the whole party 20 armor, as well as giving yourself a lot of extra damage. I've seen that, yeah, because you'll from Surefire Plan, you'll get about 30% extra damage, but you'll be getting about 150 to 200% extra damage from your tactical knowledge. So you will be able to do a lot of single target damage, and if you can line some stuff up, you can spread damage out a little bit more. So, gonna put her into a correct position here. Now, because she's got Uncanny Sight, she's applying all these exploits anyway. So like I said, we are seeing a lot of it, and then we can pick it up with tactical knowledge. So now I've given all my allies 12 more armor, and I've upped her damage a little bit. So again, we've got high crit rate because we're a high perception based character, and we're also increasing our armor of all of our frontline fighters. So she makes a very good backline support class. Earlier on, before Argenta gets her first characterist training for ballistic skill, I actually give her a las weapon, mostly so she doesn't miss. Yeah, once you start getting closer to 65 ballistic score, it becomes less likely that you're going to be missing your hits. And then once you get the first bolter on this world from the bins, that's normally when I switch her over to that. So I can start moving up Idora because we've cleared up the main rush pack. She's also got Aftershock. That was actually a misclick. I forgot to switch to her staff before going for the scream, so I did less damage than I could have done. But she can still apply her debuffs. So when Aftershock comes in, it will actually trigger the exploits as well. Happy little accidents. Okay, now we can actually get the bonus turn we wanted earlier. So we can Surefire Plan, take it for the sniper shot, hit one, overpen another. Didn't quite trigger Forge World just yet. We'll get more likely to trigger those additional attacks later. You could very easily go for an Executioner with this build, especially if you use Toxin Sniper Rifles, and you can do a lot of damage from those where it hurts shots. But because you can put on the Bleed Backpack, you can, as Dogmatic, get Fire procs, and then with Toxin Weapons you can do that. So if once after they've got... So you can take a normal shot, and then your second shot you can where it hurts, so you can do a lot of single target damage. So again, we can get small stacks of tactical knowledge there. So we've got 8 on the damage, but we've now got 20 on the armor.
Let's get to it.
We can use Run and Gun on the Soldier. Now, Soldier is a very good option for Fortress World, Crimelord, Bounty Hunter as well, because they can do a lot of damage with Sniper. Hell, even just going with Argenta into Bounty Hunter, you can do a lot of Sniper damage with her. Now, you don't have abilities that specifically support it, but you can use stuff like Dash and things like that. The fact that she can get 2 shots off is kind of why you do it anyway. Again, the next fight we're actually going to pick up Pascal as well, and having Pascal combined with Idora and the Sniper, oh, they do a lot together. So, in the warehouse fight here, so we've skipped to forward a little bit, we've now got 3 operatives. All 3 of them are actually eventually going to be bounty hunters as well. So one of the nice things they do is now we've got 3 people around that are putting out exploits. So you'll see damage very quickly steamroll. And because most of the enemies in this encounter, again, are melee, we can actually outrange enemies and just keep like using covers on the outskirts to be putting out exploits and then be building up damage. And you can put exploits on some enemies, then not shoot them, so your other enemies can then build up more exploits for tactical knowledge. So that way we can boost it a lot more. So enemy there wanted to take him out, so we shot the barrel. We've put out some more exploits there, and we're saving it for Pascal now. So we've had 2 people put exploits onto the same person. Unfortunately, he's moved over there. Later, we also take joint analysis. So that means that you get your allies get your int bonus, and they can move 1 exploit per hit. So you can do quite a bit more damage with that, and that means your allies can actually use your exploits as well and start getting your int bonus out. And because we have multiples, our other operatives can use the joint analysis of the other operatives. So if both Pascal and your sniper set them up, they can both use each other's intelligence score to add on their base damage. Like I said, they both benefit. So Pascal, I've given the long lads, which so now we have 3 sniper rifles early on before any of the sniper encounters. Unfortunately, the guy we want to get our exploits to is over back here. But we can even steal Machine Spirit Protocols to get more on him. So, want to take out that just so later on it doesn't quite take me out. I could have just shot people there, which is fine, but I know I had a big little stair lined up, so it was. I more wanted to get rid of that possible explosive. So we can give Pascal another shot. Again, he's got all those stacks now up on this one up front. So we can use our tactical knowledge here. 14 armor to all of our allies, and he's also going to do some more damage.
If I may.
That guy's got a lot of stacks on it.
I'm not so sure.
Idra, I've also got for Biomancy here that she can start putting out some buffs. But now we can start moving up our main sniper. Again, we could have put her on cover in the corner here, but I'm actually trying to line up to see if I can hit more than one. I did want to try and get to those stacks for tactical knowledge. But now we can start showing off some of our damage here.
Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes.
And see, she has another attack there, which I could have used. I realised at the time of recording I didn't spot that. So this is obviously post-commentary, I'm not doing this live. Yeah, I didn't spot that she had generated a second attack there, so I missed out one of my shots. BG.
As on our old days. Trust me. The other side awaits. The shadow.
But yeah, no, Blade Dance is so good. Like, he just jumps in and just does so much.
As on our old days.
Just look at it go. Like, I can definitely understand why people complain that Operative doesn't do as much as some classes, because, yeah, early game it might be comparable to Warrior or Soldier, but it really isn't compared to Blade Dancer. But then again, what is? What really is?
Victory is imminent. For Von Phalangius, reduced to dust.
Though the heroic action of Warrior really does set it apart as well.
One fewer target. Chaos awaits me.
But yeah, as you can see, picking off everything with all these extra buffs that you're just getting across everything, it's nice. And especially the armor. Like, we got 37% that we're giving to the party here. It's literally turning all of our light armored allies into heavy armor we're enjoyers.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
And the thing is, what is funny is even if you miss, you still got those exploits built up for when you go.
Anything else?
So what we'll do after this battle is we'll skip forward to the Aurora fight.
Nothing of value.
See, even 57 damage, it's not too bad in this. By the time you do the DLC around level 14, you should be doing about 100. But you can see all the extra armor again. Like, Ablard's sitting there enjoying over 100% armor.
Death comes in sight. Let your soul be calm. The other side awaits.
Accustomed to being ordered around.
So, because things are a little bit different, so this is the sap turn for Cassia, is because we now have a grand strategist, because you can reach level 16, having a sniper in this encounter is so good, because you can take out their sniper, which is our main goal here. So going into Bounty Hunter, so I can set prey on it. I can also get some tactical knowledge. We want to get on as many exploits as possible, because basically you want to take this guy out in a single shot. So we got 86% chance. We miss. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Let's throw a fire grenade out for Aurora so we can actually help our buff up here. Also, as you notice, I've got my party a little bit different than I normally have for this fight. So I've got Heinrichs in here. The next videos I'm going to work for the companions, because after the Grim Dark Challenge, I've updated all my companion builds again. So my previous videos are slightly now out of date for my tournament builds, but at the same time, I don't want to redo the videos I've already done first. I want to do Pascal, then Heinrichs, then Jay, then Urilet, then Mazrahai, then Ulfar before Mazrahai, and then I can update the ones that need updating for the tournament stuff. And we might not even need to do that, because 1.3 is coming around December. Cool, got my first turn, took him out. 98 damage on a non-crit. Woof! But yes, as I was saying, set up joint analysis, some other guys get some damage here. Yeah, so 1.3 is coming in December, so I'm going to have to redo all my companion builds anyway for the balance adjustments. Also, one of the reasons I'm also not doing Soldier Bounty Hunter is I know Remortis, for those of you who know him, is actually working on doing a Soldier Bounty Hunter dual pistol build. So I don't want to step on his toes. I want him to be able to obviously do that himself and get that out there. So if you don't already follow Remortis and you're looking to do that for builds, then do go check out his channel for that. But yes, now that we've got all of these guys here, we can start setting up even more of these praise as well as some other stuff. And so Pascal, I normally have the long lads in this fight, but now that I have two other snipers, I can actually put on his plasma cannon and focus on doing that. So Pascal, I build as a mobile bounty hunter, so he can move between shots, whereas my snipers, I have more stationary bounty hunters that play more like assassins. So they don't sort of compete for the same gear. So I actually put like the sniper ability on my Crimelord Operative, but I put fresh target on Pascal instead, because he's going to be moving between shots, because he needs to be a little bit closer. Yes, we got our Heinrichs in there. What I'm going to do is going to buff up Heinrich so he can actually get set up himself. So he's going to ignite himself and orchestrate flames, so he's got those buffs on there. Now, if you're wondering why he's doing so much damage to himself, it's also because I've put on the Daemon tool, so yeah, his self-burn damage is going to do way more. Alright, so Aurora, we've locked down Varmele over here. We're going to get Heinrichs into there eventually once he's cleared the trash. And we're just going to bully him. Aurora doesn't make it to his actual turn 4 where he destroys the shuttles anymore. Like, that's for damn sure. So I'm going to put stacks on Aurora for now. But I'm actually going to help pick off these trash and hope we can generate another attack. Not just yet, but we'll put on joint analysis to help with our allies' health. Which means Cabela can now get the intelligence buff to her burst attacks here. And we're going to use this to build up some stacks. So you saw all those stacks came off as she was hitting there. So it came off for one for each hit. Guarantee the next hit. We're going to do where it hurts. Do a nice big hit there. Because she's level 1 executioner, so she can use those bleed stacks. So then we got Pascal. So we're going to blast this melee here. Again, 45 damage on without any buffs or overcharges. It's very tasty. So we're going to remove 7 stacks, so Aura obviously has less armor. And we're also going to reduce his damage. Well, not this turn by the looks of it. Alright, so Heinrichs, we set him on fire. So now he has multiple sources of fire to do extra damage here. So we charge him in. So 38 there, not too bad. And because he's an executioner now, his hits can actually build up bleed as well. So where it hurts can then proc a bunch of damage. Give him some momentum because he's got the momentum goggles on. Yeah, another big juicy hit there on Aurora. Ablard's been knocked down, so he's not actually going to get those attacks off here. Thrown off the bus for Cabela, so then she can blade dance. And because we have Medal of Alacrity, we get 3 AP here. So again, we've built up even more stacks, and bam, another where it hurts hits. Multiple procs. Aurora tries to kick her out and then chase her down, but he gets killed by the attack of opportunity, which gets bonus agility.